ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Walking with J.Beau on this May 5th. (2025). Gonna walk about 5 3/4 miles today. My back bothers me today. My neck bothers me today. I have a slight headache. So this isn't my best day. But I didn't walk yesterday, and it is 60 degrees. So it looked like it was going to rain all day today, but we have an opening. Got some pickleballers playing some pickleball. So I'm not going to do too much selfie stream today because I just don't feel like it because of my neck. So we had a whole crap ton of rain yesterday. Kind of expected this time of year. Also, my knee hurts today too. I'm sore all over the place today. I think it is residual from all the yard work we did, which did things like that right there, that blister that's healing. But it's more of an arthritic kind of thing bothering me. My hands hurt. This is like This is like 2 days ago. So I'm actually feeling worse 2 days afterwards than I did the next day. I don't know if that's how the human body is designed for like a survival mode. I guess. I don't know. But I do know that I'm sore today. Not muscles. My muscles aren't sore. It's my joints. So anyway, I will flip the camera around for a minute. Hi everybody. I'm not using my selfie stick. I'm using something else where I have to hold my arm out straight. But I just wanted to turn around and say thank you for walking with me. And we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into today, if any. And if I can, well, I am going to walk the whole walk, obviously, but I'm not feeling absolutely the most energetic today either. So bear with me and we'll just walk. Thanks for being here. Anyway, regardless. This is more about getting my exercise in. After a couple of miles, I'll feel pretty good. And then right around the 4-mile mark, I'll start feeling my injuries. It's always what happens. but it is important for me to walk today. And as you can see, the leaves are coming in finally, so that's nice. So we see in the news a lot of people are upset about that photograph of Trump as the Pope. It's an AI image. He said today he didn't make it. He just posted it. He thought it was funny. And he said the media are the ones that don't think it's funny. And today, like, he was getting asked questions about it. He was like, oh, come on, you know? And I'm a Catholic. I wasn't offended by it. They got to have their anti-Trump stuff to talk about, so that's all that is. They're pretty pathetic, to be honest with you. This is a nice field here to play wiffle ball or t-ball. See some kids using it sometimes. Practice hitting. Hi. So I got some interesting gun news. A couple of items. First, the good news. The good news is the older brother came across an original 1945 Remington Rand 1911 A1 made for the military. Looks like it's brand new. It's in great shape. He said it'll be a little while before he pays it off. But it was found locally and it's in beautiful condition. 45 ACP, obviously. We will have something featured on the channel for that because that is an absolutely exceptional piece. And we'll have a shooting video with it. So how cool is that? The other gun news, which isn't so good, is the new Henry 17 HMR. It's going to have to go back to Henry for a repair or replacement because there's something wrong with it, and they didn't want to send a new extractor because they don't feel, well, they feel if something was bad enough to break an extractor that it needs to go back legally for them to look at. I understand that, so they're going to send a shipping box. Hopefully it's not going to take 2 months like the last time, but that will get shipped out and fixed one way or the other. Henry Rifles and the company are absolutely wonderful with that sort of thing. It's unfortunate that that happened, but something's going on with that. Whether it's the ammo or the rifle, I believe it's the rifle, to be honest with you. Just my opinion. Something wrong with the headspace in there. So they're probably going to end up replacing the entire rifle. As long as they send something that works, This was brand new out of the box. It was only fired about 10 or 12 times. And we were getting light hammer strikes. Thanks. Supposed to yield for pedestrians. The guy in that red pickup truck did not. This person did. So that red pickup truck broke the law. So anyway, that's my firearm news. And as far as the 17 WMR rifle, there's no doubt that the extractor was broken. So my guess is it might have been broken when the firearm was new. It was just broken, or it broke on the first couple of shots, because what was happening is you'd like cycle it, the lever action, and it would put a round behind a casing that didn't eject, and it would push the tip in. So it's possible that those two rounds that blew up had to do with a head spacing issue, because it shot around where the bullet had been mushed in. And that can happen. So either way, it's not good. We'll get it resolved, and I will report back to you what happens. Ooh, that's a steep hill. It's got my heart rate up. It's either going to hurt or help my headache. So far, so good. Boy, I gotta tell you, President Trump is like always so busy. It's incredible. He loves this. He absolutely loves this. One day it's a controversy with the Pope. They tried to make fun of him because he wore a blue suit to the Pope's funeral, and everybody else wore black. also tried to make a big deal out of everything he does. Everything. So, now he says he wants Alcatraz rebuilt. Now the media is reporting it as reopening Alcatraz, because then they can say experts have stated that the amount of money it would cost would be incredible to renovate Alcatraz. Well, in fairness, he did not say he wanted to renovate what was there. He said he wants to build a new Alcatraz. So the media is doing what the media does because they're trying to counter Doge. Speaking of government waste, Trump wants to reopen and renovate Alcatraz, which experts have said would cost so much more money. Well, he literally did not say renovating what's there. I mean, why does everything the media does have to have such extreme bias, and then they look at you with a straight face and say they don't do that? I mean, how dumb do they think people are? Why can't they just report the story on Alcatraz and say if he means rebuilding it from scratch, it would actually be cheaper to do than to remodel what's there because of all the years of decay. So much concrete has been depleted, the salt air from the ocean nearby, etc. Why can't they just report it honestly and just say that if he meant this, but he probably meant that? We're going to call the White House press secretary's office and get a clarification. Now, why don't they do that? That's those hills out there we went out and looked at, way out in the distance. Last fall, before winter. Bugs. Almost inhaled the bug. Well, the bugs are awake. Sounds like somebody's running a wood chipper. We got a big truck coming. Somebody's doing some work up here. Dealing with gnats because the sun's not out. Somebody rutted the side of the road. Got a dump truck pulled over. Coming from that way, it looks like. Took a wide turn. A lot of people having some spring work done, I guess. Getting sweaty. It's 60 degrees and it's a humid 60 degrees. Feels very comfortable. Birds are awake. So I was watching this coverage on YouTube. That's 8 bodies now have been found in Connecticut, Massachusetts area. All female, all in the woods. So they're suspecting there's a serial killer. The remains are all older remains, except for a couple of them. So they think somebody's been doing something for a while now, but they haven't found anything to link them together to suggest it's the same person. Yet, as of yet. Person or people. So, a couple of the ones that have been identified had a questionable past with drugs and prostitution, things like that. So that may have something to do with it. Could be anything from a serial killer to they owed the wrong people some money and they took their payment by taking them out in the woods and getting rid of them. Or they knew something they shouldn't have known. Or it's just a serial killer. Or they wandered off into the woods really high on something and just died in the woods. So it's all guesswork at this point. They're not releasing more information than that. One of the people they found was actually just a skull. they didn't find any other remains. They just found a human skull. It's been verified that it's a human skull, and they don't know why it was found in the woods. No other remains were found. And it was just a guy that was doing some deer hunting, or deer tracking deer. And he discovered that. I'm sure that didn't make his day. So, we're going to go for our walk. I like that steel Texaco sign on that building. So we installed the new security lights on the property. The ones that were there were acting kind of wonky. One of them was operating when it felt like it, and the other one was operating when it felt like it, when nothing was triggering it. It'd be off for 5 or 6 days, and then it would just come on for no reason with no motion detection. So out you go, cheap Chinese-made crap. So we put in some better ones with more features. Hopefully that equates to better quality. Yet to be seen. So walking, how is walking going to work this summer when it's hot? Well, I'm not going to walk in the afternoon when it's 90 degrees in the sun. You'd have to be stupid to do that. Those are almost always going to be night walks, which is fine. And I won't be doing this route with night walks because there's no sidewalks. And past this point up here with the street light that's at this intersection, there's really no street lights on this whole stretch. So whatever light you get is moonlight or light from headlights of cars. So I'm not going to be dealing with that. Now over here we got something that's free. It's got blue masking tape on it that says free. Let's see what it is. What is this? Free. Oh, look at that. It's an oil furnace. We have an oil furnace out here. I see a fuel pump. I see a Honeywell trip safety switch. I see the fuel lines. I don't know how well this works. There is the canister there. This is an old one. There's the blower motor. That's a blower motor that blows the heat into your house. It says free. Free still works. So chances are, you know, that's an old furnace. You'd be better off getting a new one. They're not the cheapest thing you could buy. So that is interesting. So there you go. That's one of those things you see on the side of the road when you're walking. And that is a furnace that still works. Pretty interesting. We don't know why they're getting rid of it. Switching to something newer, more efficient. Most people don't spend a lot of money for a new furnace unless something's wrong. That's the other thing to consider. I said it works. So I have a guitar pick guard, still waiting for to be delivered. I also saw the effects of Trump's tariffs. I'll explain. I went to a Chinese website. I think it was AliExpress. Alibaba or whatever the hell it is, and I was checking out record cleaners, motorized ones. Now on Amazon and eBay they're listed for $500 to $600. A couple were $700, $800. They were $1,200 on the Ali website. Double. What is the Trump tariff on China? 145%. So, products made in China are going to be heavily tariffed. They are easily going to double or increase up to 145%. I believe it's just temporary. Trump is doing that to send a message with China to work out a trade deal I talked about on the last walk, which is going to involve halting fentanyl from coming into the United States, China regulating it more. I think China enjoys seeing Americans die from it, because I really honestly believe this too, that China wants to invade the United States at some point. And I know that's a bold statement, but they redesigned their entire military to be capable against defeating the United States military. And their navy is now bigger than ours, because Washington, D.C. has been coddling China And a lot of politicians are making money off Chinese stocks. So that's coming to an end. Thankfully, at some point, China needs to be held accountable. And they're going to stop damaging our country. Two speeders. So we got to fix our problems here in Washington, D.C. with that corruption. And speaking of which, Ed Martin, Missouri politician, is the interim prosecutor in Washington, D.C., a far-right prosecutor out of the beautiful state of Missouri. And you can tell he would be really good for Trump because the usual suspects are talking about not voting to confirm him. Chuck Grassley, Tillis, Cornyn, Susan Collins, and what the hell's the other clown's name? The doctor there who wouldn't support RFK unless RFK promised not to mess with vaccination programs. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, as of right now, there would not be enough Republican votes to confirm him in the Senate. And that's unfortunate because he is a prosecutor that will go after the Democrats like we want to drain the swamp, the bureaucrats and the corruption. So the swamp is protecting the swamp with the rhinos, Republicans in name only. And I can tell you right now, Susan Collins has enriched herself greatly as a senator. Probably so has the other ones. They all do it the same way. They do it through their spouse. They don't personally do it. Their spouse makes the money. Susan Collins' husband has had many government contracts over the years and has made a lot of money, including in 2012 when Susan Collins and Dianne Feinstein allegedly got together to fix the United States Postal Service, which of course never got fixed. But both Susan Collins and Dianne Feinstein's husbands made really nice money with the United States Postal Service with contracts. It's disgusts me what they do. Absolutely disgusts me. So when somebody wants to come in and fix that so you can't do that anymore, they're not going to vote for them. I mean, son of a bitch and big shocker, right? So there you have it. I got other big news to announce for the state of Maine. Just announced yesterday, this weekend. Former governor, two-term governor, Paul LePage of Maine, who you have heard me talk about many times on here. He just lost to Janet Mills' re-election. I wonder how many people are regretting that vote at this point. But like I said, 1/3 of the voting bloc in Maine is independent, with many of them leaning left. So, people like Paul LePage run into the same problem that I told you we would run into. That was a nice old car. Looks like an old Studebaker or something in the back of that flatbed. So the same problem we would run into when everybody says, primary Susan Collins. You gotta primary her. Well, Susan Collins stretches across some very liberal areas, and they vote for her because she's never going to side with Republicans 100%. They compromise and they vote for her. She plays the independents. That's what I've been trying to pound in people's heads. If you try to primary Susan Collins and you do so with a MAGA type Republican, that Republican is going to lose that Senate seat. I know this state, I know what I'm talking about. So you're wondering, well then why Paul LePage? Well, Paul LePage is very Trump-like. Before Trump even ran, they were doing national headlines on him. He did the same thing Trump did and gave the finger to the media, saying, F you, I'm not going to play those games. And so he governed here twice and did very good. So he would not be running for Susan Collins' seat. But the reason why I mention these scenarios, is it comes down to districting. Now, Susan Collins does not represent this district. She does, but like I said, she stretches across other ones that are more liberal. The congressional seat, however, held by Jared Golden right now, who, by the way, was elected twice with ranked choice voting, though the last election, to me, looked fair. Actually, it wasn't. He got elected because of ranked choice voting, but the initial vote, they still, the MAGA candidate, Austin Terrio, came in just under on the regular count. But my point is, they should have had a runoff election. So there's no guarantee the Republican would have won that. So basically what I'm saying is, Paul LePage wants to run for the Congressional District 2, which is this one. This is the one Trump won an electoral college vote in. So Paul LePage wants to run for Congress. So, Paul LePage running for Congress is a different matter altogether. Former governor, former very successful governor. A lot of people suspect Jared Golden is going to toss his hat in the ring to run for governor, or he may even decide to run against Susan Collins. So we'll have to wait and see what Jared Golden does. But the Golden boy needs to go, and Paul LePage would win Congressional District 2 here very easily. Very easily. So that would be good, because that would give the Republicans another congressional seat, and I know he will win. I'm calling it right now. That's how confident I am of that. Everybody knows him. He's a household name. And he did a good job without scandal. And they kept trying to call him a MAGA racist Republican. And, you know, he told the NAACP to kiss his ass. That was his exact quote. "Kiss my butt," he said. He has an adopted son that's black. He adopted him years ago, before being governor. So that racism shtick went out the window pretty quick. But it wasn't before the New York Times made a national headline with his picture telling the NAACP to kiss his ass. So this guy has been in the trenches. He knows how things work, politics. And he would be a great congressman for this district. Absolutely. Has my vote already. I hear something chittering, chomping on something. So I just thought I'd share that with you. That's damn good news. That is a campaign I would donate to. Absolutely. So we're going to have to keep the House in D.C. Democrats have already introduced 7 articles of impeachment against Trump recently. They're very upset with Trump. They want the House back so bad so they can impeach. So we need to make sure we keep the House. And if the Democrats keep spending all their time just talking about Trump between now and midterms, we should keep it. Because they don't have any policies. They're still saying the same stupid things that just lost them. And if you think about this, I talked about this before. Barack Obama had Nancy Pelosi leading Congress, the chief progressive out of San Francisco. Lunatics, okay? You still get Chuck Schumer leading the Senate minority. Now, both of these people made names for themselves during Obama. But what happened during Obama? Democrats lost the House. It took them 8 years, I think, to get it back. And they only had power back for 2 years. And they lost it again because of their lunacy. And they spent all their time impeaching Trump instead of doing for the people. So, since Barack Obama has been president, the Democrats have been out of power in the House. If you really think about it, they made most of their noise during Trump's first term. So they got the House back during Trump's first term. They impeached him. And then you had Biden. And Biden ended up losing the House halfway through. So the Democrats had the House for 4 years. While Republicans are going to have it for 2 years, 3-4 years coming up. So a lot of times when there's a Republican president elected, you get a Democrat House, but the voters gave Trump a Republican House, and that's because the Democrats are in the toilet, more so than they were trying to give Trump what he needed to accomplish things. So the American public is either going to look at Trump and say he's wielding too much power, and they're going to vote for Democrats to rein in his power. But the American public does not want more impeachment drama. They want people to get things done. So if the Democrats keep making too much noise about impeachments, that's going to be another one-trick pony that the Democrats have already worn out. And beautiful yellow flowers here. I don't know what these are called. What the hell are these? What do these look like to you? Don't know what those are. Don't know what the hell those are. Sheriff's Department went by. So I hope Paul LePage wins congressional seat. I'm almost certain he will. Very popular among Republicans. He couldn't pull it out statewide though for the governorship again. People wanted some new blood and they went with Janet Mills. So there was no ranked choice voting shenanigans involved. Janet Mills got more than 50% of the vote. 53%, I think. And Paul LePage had 40 something. So it wasn't close statewide. And we use paper ballots, and they only use ranked choice voting when you have candidates under 50% of the vote. They don't use it with every single contest. Supposedly it replaces a runoff election, which to me is not fair. The lie they told was that it would speed up the election and you wouldn't have to wait for a runoff election. So instead, you have to wait for the vote counting to be done, which took over 2 weeks. They did a recount, and then they went through the ballots to remove the ones that didn't use any ranked choice voting option. Basically, they gave votes from people that lost in the first round to the second rounders. So they got to vote twice. That's why I don't like it. But that was on the ballot for Mainers to vote for. That was not something passed by the legislature. So Mainers voted for it and wanted ranked choice voting. So what that means is the Republicans have to play the same game if they want to win. If you have a candidate that's not going to get 50% of the vote, you want to make sure there's another Republican running or an independent that leans right. So their secondary votes will go to you and not the Democrat. That's how irritating that is. Do not support ranked choice voting at all. I didn't vote for it. I voted against it. Everything the Democrats come up with, there's always some way to cheat or to get an advantage unfairly. And turn around and say it's fair. Honking geese out there. Oh, looks like they've been working on their bees. Their bee boxes out there, beehives. fresh and new, like they've been repainted or something. My bones are aching today, folks. Some geese up in the trees. Having a honking good time. Turkeys way out there, those two black dots. They're rummaging around. Wild turkeys doing what wild turkeys do. Ducks over there on the grass. Waddle your little asses off. And we got a squirrel here on the road. Nice seeing all these leaves coming out. everything's starting to turn green. So, pretty uneventful walk today, and I have to admit, some days I just want to do some walking without all the talking or filming, so I'm probably going to do a few without filming anything. I've already done a couple that way, and it's nothing against you guys. It's just I have to carry this every time I go for a walk, and I feel like I have to keep talking to fill the airtime, because like I said, I don't want to edit my walks. I just want to upload it and be done with it. Add a little bit of music at the beginning with the title. Been doing this almost every day for over a year now, so one of those things. I might decide to walk and not upload videos anymore, or take a break from it. More than likely I'd just take a break from it, or I just use the head cam so I don't have to carry it. Again, it's just for my own personal amusement, a walking vlog for people over 50. I end up talking about politics a lot, which is what a lot of people over 50 do, I might add. We'll see. Play it by ear. Also been doing a lot of walking lately. What I've noticed is walking every day has its benefits, but it has its drawbacks also. One of which is body fatigue, joints, and I am over 50, so I may cut walking down to every other day instead of every day, because lately it hasn't been turning out every day anyway, because of weather, for one thing, plus everyday life, you know, things you have to do every day. So there's not always time to walk. So I'm kind of like weighing how much difference would it be health-wise if I walked every other day instead of almost every day. I don't think it would be that much. I think it would be minimal. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And my walks only take about an hour and a half, between an hour and a half and 2 hours, and then a shower afterwards. So It's not like it takes a lot of time out of the day. Today was one of those days I had to push myself out the door, if you know what I mean. And usually by the time the end of the walk comes, I'm back into the groove of it, but today's not the case. So I'm feeling a little fatigued. And it's because my joints hurt. Maybe I'm starting to get the beginning of arthritis problems. I am getting older. Might not be related to walking at all. I will have to monitor that and see, and that's the purpose of this vlog and why it's a walking vlog, is we discuss things like that because it's a walking vlog for people over 50. Fitness after 50. Or fitness over 50. Coming soon enough, it's going to be fitness at 60. That's coming up on me too. I'm going to be 57 in July. I got some buds here, blossoms. The hell is that? Clump of dirt. Somebody threw some potted plants. So anyway, I'm almost done my guitar build. I've replaced the tuners that was on it with some pretty good ones. Well, functioning ones. I also have some mini Grovers, 5 of them with a mismatched one in there. So if these tuners I put on it don't work out, which I suspect they will, then I will put the mini Grovers, which is 5 of, and then 5 of a different brand, Wilkinson. 5 of them are Grovers, 6 in a line, and 1 of them is Wilkinson, which has the same size tuning key, but on the back of the headstock you can tell it's a different brand. It's got a slightly different shape, but it does the same thing and it works. So, but I think the black set I have on there, black chrome, looks nice, so I'll stay with that. I might make a video on the 2 guitars that I just made. Let's cross over here. I'm going to be wrapping up this walk shortly, in a minute. sure you're all thrilled. I still have another 1.5 miles to go, but I'm not going to record the whole distance. I just don't want to reveal where the bat cave is. I'm sure you'll find that understandable. I'm going to have some sort of security protocols as I get a twig caught in my laces. So anyway, up ahead here, we'll sign off. Now, that's not to say I didn't have a good walk today or I didn't enjoy it. I just was not very enthused today to actually come out and do this. And I'm only doing that because tonight it's going to rain, and it looks like it'll rain all day tomorrow. Or sporadically. So I don't know when it's going to rain or not rain. And I noticed today I had a window to walk, so I took it. So sometimes you need to walk even when you don't want to, if you have a window to do so. So I may very well get a day off from walking tomorrow because of the weather. And I have wanted to really go walk before and walked in the rain. You've seen those walks. But I don't always do that. So anyway, I'll sign off up ahead here past this pine tree, like I usually do. Hi. So anyway, my friends, thank you for walking with me. I'll wait till this car goes by here so I can get off this hill. Then I'll say goodbye proper. There we go. So my friends, thank you for walking with me. Click like and subscribe, share the content. And I'm going to go home and have a good supper. And again, say a prayer for President Trump. Say a prayer for your family. And God bless you and your family. And I thank you very much for walking. And we will see you on the next walk, friends. Bye-bye.